10th Gold Coin. Kids' Enthusiasm. Paolo Coelho once said that a child can teach an adult 3 things: to be happy for no reason, to always be busy with something, and to know how to demand with all his might that which he desires. I was looking very keenly at my younger child, Kalim, who was playing with his toys. He was totally focused and engrossed in the fun, and was enjoying it completely. He was actually trying to ride on a skateboard to roll forward, and was making failed attempts. I did not interrupt him, and kept on watching him and enjoying myself. After a few days, I observed that he was riding on the skateboard very easily. When we were kids, we had something unique within us, and that was the main driving factor for all of our rapid learning of language and all the other things around us. Have you guessed what it was? You might have observed several times small children crawling, who try their best hundreds and thousands of times, make failed attempts to stand on their feet, and in this process also get their heads banged against the floor or some other hard surface repeatedly. And then, finally, they suddenly succeed. First, they started wobbling on their feet, and then, with more practice, started to walk steadier. Have you ever come across a single toddler who ever said that after the 100th or 500th failed attempt, "That's it, enough, and there will be no further try"? But how strange. That's exactly what happens to us when we grow up. We are born with having fear of only 2 things: falling from heights and loud noises. All other fears are instilled in us by the people we grow up around. Some of these fears are legitimate and necessary for living in a modernized world, like the fear of being hit by a car. Others are completely unnecessary and serve only to hinder us from being everything we can be. Consider for a moment which of your fears actually protect you from harm and which are illogical. Does it still surprise you that there is an abundance of other good traits which kids possess and we can learn from them? Kids laugh a lot, especially when they are happy. Adulthood makes us serious because life can be tough, and the general perception is if you are not serious, you will lose your focus and direction. Do you think this is true? When do you feel more in terms of enthusiasm and focus? In happy or sad moments? This answer itself is reasoning to why we should bring that angle of happiness in each and everything we do. Kids love to play, and would play all day and all week if they had the chance. Playing rejuvenates them and gives them a passion for life. So you should find time to engage in your favorite hobbies or recreational activities. Taking time off from some of your pressing issues to engage in fun-filled activities is a good way to help you recharge your batteries. In many of the corporate trainings which I have conducted, the best trainings were always the one where I engaged all the participants in a fun workshop focused towards learning. You might observe that actually it is the intensity of our emotions which normally happen during our happiest and saddest moments, and the result is that they become a permanent part of our memory. Kids also do not judge a book by its cover. They do not discern between race, religion, colour or gender. Kids are pure in their perception of humanity. They do not bear a grudge for long. On the other hand, we as adults are quick to bear a grudge on small matters and do not let go easily. Kids do not look in the mirror and frown at what they see. They are unscathed by the imperfections that the mirror leads us to believe we have as adults. Kids do not care about spots or lines. They make silly faces at their reflections and are more likely to giggle than frown at what they see. Because they are unaffected by their flaws, they love looking at themselves. So, as adults, we should also find reasons to love ourselves. It does not have to be in our looks, it can be in our unique abilities. However, when we grow up, there is a slight shift, and we adopt a serious view, needed only in very few aspects, especially towards the life objective. As when we get matured, our behaviors in life are governed mainly by the values ingrained in our subconscious mind. I remember once I was travelling with a friend, and there was suddenly a big bump on the road, and my friend did not bother to slow down the car, and we got a big jolt while passing over. Then he started laughing, as it seemed that it was intentional on his part, and he enjoyed it a lot. I asked him why he had done this, and was he not worried that this reckless way of driving would cause serious damage to his car? He replied, "No worries at all, as this car is a rental. I do not need to be gentle with it." This provided me with the whole philosophy in which many people are actually treating their precious gift of life like a rental and have decided to just play around without having to establish and pursue any serious aim and objectives for their life. This mindset demarcates the successful mindset from the unsuccessful one. Please remember that any amount of materialistic gain does not make anyone successful or unsuccessful. Rather, it is the life philosophy which is going through our head at this moment which determines our fate. Let's take another example to understand this concept. Imagine you are sitting in front of your TV set with a remote control in your hand with a choice to change the channels on the TV screen. Some channels are good, informative, and might play a better role in your learning and development. And there are also some other channels which, if watched for a longer period of time, might drain you ethically and morally. Now, each TV channel has a defined frequency when you tune to it. Select a station, and if you tune off some and set it to another frequency, the earlier station frequency is still available, as is the one currently being broadcasted on the screen. But you cannot tune into them all at the same time. Similarly, everyone in this life has the power to choose which values and principles and life philosophies they want to tune for themselves. If you start tuning your mental channels towards positive aspects, then tag this one aspect. Although life is a rental, we must be gentle and responsible with it. This thinking will put you on the road to success. So learn to give without expecting anything in return, for that is what real and unconditional love is all about, and that is what kids can teach you. Summary points. 1. We can learn so many life lessons from kids. 2. Kids make numerous failed attempts before walking straight and upright, but they never give up. 3. Kids are passionate in their play and sincere in their relationships. 4. Kids are not biased by race, religion, colour or gender and so on. 5. When we get matured, we need a simple shift in just a few aspects of life. 6. The story which is currently going through our mind determines the behaviours we adopt in life. 7. We have the power to choose to run the productive channels in our mind.